I apologize, Jays fans, for not being able to upload that video last night talking about the Jays' 9-1 loss to the New York Yankees. I mean, look, first off, it wasn't pretty to watch, so there's really no rush. However, obviously being in California and already having a sunburn, it was a busy day yesterday and didn't get a chance to do the video for you guys. You guys can understand that. And here I am. I wanted to get the video up before tonight's game to at least keep the trend of having one video per game, all right? But let's briefly discuss this game. It's probably not going to be a long video because, as you guys know, I probably didn't get a chance to watch most of the game. However, I did obviously keep up to date as much as possible on it. It was not pretty. 9-1 loss to the Yankees. Jays are now 15-10 on the season. And with the loss today to the Yankees, or yesterday, I guess, the Jays, they've lost their first series of the year. And it's unfortunate against the Yankees, the team that you're probably going to be battling with all year long. And the Jays had Alek Manoah on the mound. He did his job. He did what he had to do. But once again, the Jays offense does not get it done. Now, we can sit here and talk about the umpire. We can talk about, the awful call that Vladdy, tagged the runner and should have been out. Instead, they get the extra run. And then it was an influx of abominations in that inning. But the bad defense, we talk about it, guys. Good pitching and good defense wins you ball games, right? And yes, offense, they got to get it going. This is getting ridiculous at this point. Another one-run ball game where they get 8 hits. They get a couple guys with a couple of hits. Bo, Vladdy, and Alejandro Kirk all had multiple hits in the game, but you only get 1 run. And heck, you have the lead. Bottom of the 5th inning, Bo hits an RBI single. Kirk comes in to score, and the Jays are up 1-0. Okay, we're feeling pretty good here. You got a lead midway through. Manoah's dealing to this point. I mean, what else is new? And hey, he's doing fantastic. Then in the top half of the 6th inning, unfortunately, Aaron Judge hits a solo bomb off of Alek Manoah, and we're tied at 1. But then the wheels just fall right off the team, and Alek Manoah gets out of that inning, does a great job through 6 innings, a 1-run ball, another quality start for him. He was phenomenal. But then we go in the top of the 7th. And yeah, defense was awful. It was, according to Ben Nicholson-Smith on Twitter, it was one of the worst defensive innings of the season for the Toronto Blue Jays. And it's capped off by that rundown, obviously, between 3rd and home, where Vladdy tags the runner. Umpire just signals safe, right? He's emphatic about it, and I'm like, and I see the play, and I'm like, I don't know how you call him safe. You call him out, and hey, if they want to review it, or if you want to review it for an umpire's review, fine, so be it. But no, they call him safe. The Jays have already used their challenge to this point. They can't challenge the play, and he's safe. Vladdy loses it. I mean, you guys can confirm here. He stays in the game, I believe. He is not pleased. And rightfully so, right? You're already down 3-1. You've already given up 2 runs in the inning. You got 1 out. You could have had the second out there, which would have been great. It would have been a huge part of the inning, right? You get the second out, only 3-1 game. You get out of that inning. Hey, it's only 3-1. Now, obviously, with the Jays offense being awful, a 3-1 deficit sounds like a lot. But a 3-1 game is, more reachable. However, then things just fall right off the cliff, right? Because obviously Josh Donaldson hitting the RBI double, Stan scores. Then Marwin Gonzalez hitting the RBI double, Donaldson scores. And that's the 3-1 score. Then Trevino hits the fielder's choice. Marwin Gonzalez comes in to score. He was obviously the one that Vladdy tagged and was called safe. However, it was only a 3-1 game to that point, right? After, I guess that made it 4-1 with the fielder's choice, but. And then if you stop the bleeding after that, you would have been okay. But no, then Aaron Hicks is an RBI single. Connor Falefa comes in to score. Then Aaron Judge is an RBI double. In comes Hicks and Trevino. And then the game's blown wide open. I think it's 7-1 to this point. And it's just well, that's pretty much game. And it was game. The Jays don't score another run the rest of the game. And then the top of the 9th off of Andrew Vasquez. Giancarlo Stanton's a 2-run bomb. Hicks comes in to score. It's 9-1. Yes, I understand we can talk about the umpiring, which was really bad. They made some horrendous calls. However, when you score 1 run, and after that play, you give up an RBI single and a 2-run double, you get to, and they also give up a 2-run shot. Yeah, well, in a tight game, Andrew Vasquez is not pitching in that game. So I'm disregarding that Stanton home run in that sense. But the extra RBI single and the extra RBI double off of Julian Merriweather was bad. You can't allow that to happen. You got to calm the bleeding down, sort it out, figure it out, get out of that inning. But no, the bleeding continued, and it was over. And the Jays have now lost back-to-back games, and both games have been out here, which is not fun. However, not that I can do about it, but they got to figure it out offensively. And look, to a great sign. Teoscar Hernandez was in AAA, and in his first at bat, he went yard. That's great to see. I don't want to say to hurry up because Jay's offense is awful right now, but you got to make sure he's healthy. And obviously, being in a game, period, you're healthy, but you want to build this guy up a little bit. So he might be down there. I'm gonna guess for another few days because they talked about the Guardians series kind of being that time for Teo. Maybe we need some offense. Like if this Jays offense can find a way with the Yankees are doing right now, they're swinging at will right now. They had a tough start to the season. Their offense was really bad, getting shut out by the Orioles and whatnot. But since then, they've been hitting up like crazy, and they're winning a lot of ball games. And Jays fans, guess what? Nestor Cortez is pitching for the Yankees today, arguably their ace right now. And then Yusei Kikuchi goes for the ball for the Jays. We talked about it yesterday, or I guess 2 days ago now, how yesterday's game with Manoah pitching was the game to get. You didn't get it. And they get Kikuchi going against arguably their ace in Nestor Cortez Jr. So 7:07 first pitch at Rogers Center, I guess 4:37 out here. But they got to find a way to get their offense going. And soft throwing lefties, they have a tendency when they don't have their stuff to just get rocked. However, Cortez has been phenomenal all season long, and the way he pitches, I think, is just incredible. The way he changes the arm slot, changes, he's very, he hesitates when he pitches, and he's throwing people off timing wise, and he's a really, really crafty pitcher in that sense. But the Jays got to find a way, and great to see Bo Bichette swinging the bat better, 2 for 4 with an RBI yesterday. Vladdy, I think a lot of us weren't really worried about him, but he wasn't playing Vladdy-esque, and him going 2 for 4 yesterday, again, a decent sign for him. And Alejandro Kirk, who offensively has been okay. I mean, the numbers suggest that he's been decent. Continues, 2 for 4 with a run scored for him. The team only had 8 hits in the ball game. 3 guys had 6 hits. Do the math. I think Tapia had 1 hit. And who was batting ninth? You guys can let me know who was batting ninth. Was it with Heineman? No, I don't know. Either way, everybody else did nothing. George Springer went over 3 with 3 strikeouts in the game. The team just did not, the cohesiveness is not there offensively. And they got to figure that out pretty quickly because obviously you went through the stretch of playing these really good teams and you've done pretty well, but the last thing we want is to end it off with a sweep of the Yankees, right? That's the last thing we want. If you lose a series, hey, you lose a series. In this ridiculous stretch of playing a ridiculous amount of games in a row and, 30 and 31 days or whatever I think it was actually 30 and 31 days, which is ludicrous numbers. The last thing we want is a sweep to the Yankees in this set, right? In this 16-game stretch. So if they can find a way tomorrow to get it done, then hey, so be it. But let's get to the pitching staff real quick from yesterday's ballgame. Alek Manoah, obviously just phenomenal as always. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, 1 run, 7 strikeouts, and walked 1 guy. He was absolutely spectacular. Adam Simber definitely struggled in that 7th inning. Went a third of an inning, allowed a couple hits, 3 runs. Only 1 was an earned run, and struck out 1. And then Julian Merriweather couldn't get an out. They didn't get an out in his inning of work. Allowed 3 hits and 3 runs. I mean, he was just not good at all, and that was the big spot in that 7th inning. And Trent Thorpe went out there, went an inning and 2/3, allowed 1 hit, 3 strikeouts and a walk, so he was good in his outing. And then Andrew Vasquez, went an inning, allowed 1 hit, a couple of runs, 2-run bomb to Stanton, struck out 1 and walked 1. So that's the pitching line from yesterday. Obviously, there was a few good performances, but the bad ones were really bad. And that's got to change. We talk about pitching and defense got to be great. Pitching, bullpen-wise, wasn't great. Defense wasn't great. Your offense definitely wasn't great. And you get swamped 9-1 against the Yankees. All right, Jays fans, you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, and definitely not the game last night if you're a Jays fan, but if you're a Yankee fan and you loved the game last night, smack the like button anyways. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not already. Comment down below. Thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from yesterday's game for the Toronto Blue Jays? There's a lot to not like. You could like maybe Bo Bichette continuing to stay hot. That's really about it, though. Vladdy getting multi-hits is nice. Kirk getting multi-hits is nice. But I think Bo Bichette getting hot, I think, is what we were all hoping for. And we're starting to see it. But that's about the only positive from yesterday's game. Twitter link is down below, so follow us on Medium, do that great stuff. The Instagram link is also down below, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys. All right, Leafs edition, I believe, what day is today? Tuesday? Wednesday? I'm lost. I think it's a Wednesday. I believe the Leafs play tonight in Game 2. Against the Lightning at Scotiabank Arena as they look to take a 2-0 series lead after that great Game 1. However, you know for a fact the back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, they're going to come out today with some urgency and some intensity because they just got smashed in Game 1 on the road. They're going to be ready to go in Game 2. So it's going to be a very different atmosphere, very different game. Let's see if the boys can handle it. As for the Toronto Blue Jays, they're back in action today against the Yankees. 7:07 first pitch at Rogers Center in the finale of the 3-game set. They just look to salvage the finale of it, just to get a win, right? Lose a series, fine, so be it. With this crazy stretch they've been on, if you won like 3 or 4 series in a row, like in that 16-game span, and then you lose the one, I would not be opposed to it at all. And plus, you'd only be 1 game behind you 500 in the Yankees, head-to-head matchup on the season, which wouldn't be bad. But if you lose, you're 3 back. And it's just like, it makes it that much. And plus, they were all at home. So that would just be really, really not fun to watch. Nestor Cortes Jr. gets the ball for the Yankees today. Yusei Kikuchi gets the ball for the Jays. Cortes gets the ball for the Yankees. Kikuchi for the Blue Jays. 7:07 first pitch at Rogers Center. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and definitely not the game yesterday. We'll talk to you guys then.